Perfect. Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. I'm Reverend Cassandra Rae, the spiritual director of the Center for Spiritual Living White Rock. We are a learning center of practical spirituality, teaching a progressive, inclusive, and empowered spiritual philosophy and faith. So wherever you are on your path, whether you're struggling or soaring or all of the above, I'm so glad that you're here with us. And there's a place for you here in our community, and your presence makes a big difference. So I'm coming to you today from the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish First Nations, including Kwikwetlem, Tsleil-Waututh, and Stalo nations. I believe it's important to acknowledge the land, the native land that I live on, because Indigenous people, culture, and consciousness are vital to the evolution of humanity and spirituality. So now let us ground our time together in truth and spirit. I invite you to turn within. I take this blessed, sacred moment to feel the presence of the divine inside and all around. I know that it infuses each and every cell, atom, space. Everyone and everything comes from this same energy, vitality, consciousness of spirit. And I know that this source, that it is pure love, that no matter what is happening in this life, in this world, that there is an energy and back of all life that is love and wisdom, peace and wholeness. And so I let that knowing shine a light of consciousness through my body, mind, heart, and being. And it's from this place of oneness that I claim, affirm, and know that each one present here right now is a sacred expression of the divine. And that there is within each one of us this reservoir of love and peace. So whatever is happening in this experience called life, I know that there is love and peace, that there is this physical sense, this felt sense of the divine presence enfolding each one of us individually and collectively. So I take a moment to feel that collective embrace coming together in this one moment of shared experience. I know that this time together is an expression of the highest vision of spirit as each one of us, as the Center for Spiritual Living White Rock. And so I just give such great thanks. I just allow that gratitude to carry and lift and hold up each one of us, just as if laying back in the water and floating, being held by the divine. I bless each one of us, releasing this prayer into that perfect law of mind that has already answered it. I step into its perfect unfoldment, letting it be, and so it is. I am so excited to welcome Nathan Aswell as our musician today. He is a speaker and recording artist based in Vancouver, British Columbia, and his calling in this life is to encourage people to live big lives one small step at a time through his engaging talks and heart-centered music. He honors his calling by speaking and performing internationally. Oh, you will return there someday. Presenting his music, stories, and humor with his voice and instruments. You can connect with Nathan every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific live on Facebook for inspiration, music, and meditation. So you get him now and you get him every Wednesday as well. And just join me in welcoming Nathan as well.
Good morning, everyone. Wonderful to be back with you. I'm going to start this morning with a song that was composed by a quartet of tenors called Il Divo. It's called I Believe in You. Follow your heart, let your love lead through the darkness, back to a place you once knew. I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Follow your dreams, be yourself an angel of kindness. There's nothing that you cannot do. I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Follow your heart, let your love lead through the darkness, back to a place you once knew. I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Follow your dreams, be yourself an angel of kindness. There's nothing that you cannot do. I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Follow your heart, let your love lead through the darkness, back to a place you once knew. I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Follow your dreams, be yourself an angel of kindness. There's nothing that you cannot do. I believe, I believe, I believe in you. I believe, I believe, I believe in you.
Wow. So sweet. Thank you. Whew, and we need this. We need this kind of loving energy and support, um, you know, because it's been a year. It's been a year that we've been online, that we've been in a global pandemic, that everything's been shifting and changing and has been uncertain. And yet, we at CSL White Rock are still on the same mission that we had pre-pandemic, which is to awaken to our spiritual magnificence. And that's powerful, right? As we awaken, we're called to evolve. And as we evolve, we must let go of things that are no longer serving us, and we must embrace new thoughts, beliefs, ways of being. And in our book of the month, Life Visioning, can you see it? Life Visioning by Michael Bernard Beckwith, he writes on page 156, much of our inner growth is accomplished by letting go of that which no longer serves us, including habits, points of view, perceptions, opinions, whatever blocks the next stage of our development. So, what is it like for you to let go? Do you resist? Do you cling to what you already know? Or maybe you let go easily with joy and excitement. Or maybe it's some combination of all of the above. Our reactions and responses to letting go live on a spectrum. And depending on what it is, we can find ourselves at various places on the spectrum. You know, some things are easier, some things we let go of joyfully, some things we really hold on to. So today we're exploring the spiritual practice of letting go as it relates to discerning Spirit's highest vision for your life and living your purpose through visioning. So, visioning is a meditative process for intuitively catching Spirit's highest vision for your life. And it begins with steeping yourself in unconditional love. Yeah. Opening your mind and heart through meditation and asking a series of questions, beginning with, what is Spirit's highest idea of itself as my life? You intuitively sense the answer through your thoughts, feelings, sensation, images, or ideas that come up. And journaling what you notice, you continue to ask a few more questions. What qualities must I cultivate to manifest this vision? What qualities must I cultivate? And what qualities must I release in order to manifest the vision? What qualities must I cultivate? What qualities must I release? And finally, what qualities do I already possess that will serve this vision? Consciously entering into the energy of yes, excitedly accepting Spirit's vision for your life and wrapping it all in gratitude, knowing that it's already unfolding, that you're already in process. And last week, I talked about how a caterpillar must surrender to its next stage of development, how it eats and grows, literally shedding its skin 4 to 5 times as it expands. And in the chrysalis, enzymes turn it into a caterpillar soup, except for the imaginal discs, which are groups of cells that knew all along what they were destined to be. They knew all along that they would be wings for a butterfly. Well, once the butterfly is fully formed, it's ready to release the chrysalis, and it's time to let go, to leave the comfort of this cocoon. But guess what? The new butterfly doesn't just fly out of the chrysalis. No, it wiggles its way out. And once it's free, its wings are actually kind of crumply. And fluid from the butterfly's abdomen has to make its way to the wings, pumping them up and stretching them out. So butterflies strengthen their wings by flapping them until they're dry and ready to fly. In our own emergence, there are many levels of letting go. Just as the caterpillar sheds its skin that is too small for it, you and I must also be willing to shed the parts of ourselves, the parts of our lives that no longer fit. So, what structures will support you where you're at now? What practices, what relationships, what communities, what countries It's okay to allow yourself to grow, shift, and evolve. Go ahead and try something new. What would it be like to stop doing something that no longer fits with your current self or who you're called to be? What would it be like to start doing something new that's calling to you? And what would it be like to let yourself hang out with expanding your wings, allowing them to dry and strengthening them for flight? You know, there's a parable that I like to read every so often. I never get tired of hearing of it because it reminds me to let go and reach for what wants to emerge. It's called the trapeze parable, and it's from The Warriors of the Heart by Dan and Perry. Story time. I love story time. All right, here we go. Sometimes I feel that my life is a series of trapeze swings. I'm either hanging on to a trapeze bar, swinging along, or for a few moments, I'm hurtling across space between the trapeze bars. Mostly, I spend my time hanging on for dear life to the trapeze bar of the moment. It carries me along a certain steady rate of swing, and I have the feeling that I'm in control. I know most of the right questions and even some of the right answers, but once in a while, as I'm merrily or not so merrily swinging along, I look ahead of me into the distance. And what do I see? I see another trapeze bar looking at me. It's empty. And I know in that place in me that knows that this new bar has my name on it. It is my next step, my growth, my aliveness coming to get me. In my heart of hearts, I know that for me to grow, I must release my grip on the present well known bar to move to the new one. Each time it happens, I hope, no, I pray that I won't have to let go and grab the new one. But in my knowing place, I know that I must totally release my grasp on the old bar. And for some moments in time, I must hurtle across space before I can grab the new bar. Each time I do this, I am filled with terror. It doesn't matter that all of my previous hurdles, I have always made it. Each time I am afraid I will miss, that I will be crushed on unseen rocks in the bottomless basin between the bars. But I do it anyway. I must. Perhaps this is the essence of what the mystics call faith. No guarantees, no net, no insurance, but we do it anyway because hanging on to that old bar is no longer an option. And so, for what seems to be an eternity, but actually lasts a microsecond, I soar across the dark void called the past is over, the future is not yet here. It's called a transition. And I've come to believe that it is the only place that real change occurs. I have a sneaking suspicion that the transition zone is the only real thing. And the bars are the illusions we dream up to not notice the void. Yes, with all the fear that can accompany transitions, they are still the most vibrant, growth filled, passionate moments in our lives. And so, transformation of fear may have nothing to do with making fear go away, but rather with giving ourselves permission to hang out in the transition zone between the trapeze bars, allowing ourselves to dwell in the only place where change really happens. It can be terrifying. It can also be enlightening. Hurtling through the void we just might learn to fly. We just might awaken to the truth that we had wings all along. And this week is all about asking and intuitively sensing, what must I release in order to manifest the highest vision of my life? If you find letting go challenging, remember that releasing is a natural process happening organically in your body. How many breaths have you naturally released during this talk without even thinking about it? In my reading this last week, I found a passage in the Science of Mind text that highlights the fact that your body is naturally releasing all the time. Ernest Holm wrote, "We are reminded that there is something resembling the divine in the intelligence and fearlessness of the organs of our body, in the way they take that which is necessary to their sustenance and well-being and release that which is not needed." The fearlessness, intelligence and fearlessness of your body. So as you contemplate what you must release in order to manifest the highest vision of your life, you can also give yourself empowering messages. You can say to yourself, there is something within me which knows how to let go. It's okay to be where I'm at. The highest vision of my life is indeed already unfolding. Your wings have been there all along. Now let us remember that when your wings first came out of the chrysalis, they're crumpled and coming into their own. They're getting filled with life and gradually becoming stronger. So as you let go of limiting beliefs and perspectives, it might be uncomfortable as your wings stretch and grow, as possibilities strengthen within you. Knowing that this discomfort is a natural part of the process, the caterpillar bumps up against its too small skin before shedding it. Sometimes feelings of agitation, frustration, or unease are here to let you know there's something to be released, that you're ready for your next stage of evolution. These feelings have a message for you to heed. These feelings aren't bad or negative, they're important. They're revealing something important for you to know and tend to. And remembering that questions open up new understanding, you can ask, what must I release in order to enter the next stage of my evolution? And this is when you need to get out your bat. That's right, your bat. B-A-T. We are all over the place today, from caterpillars and butterflies and trapezes, and now we're going to end with a bat. That is right, because BAT is an acronym for believe, accept, trust. These are the three crucial elements of faith. Letting go requires a whole bunch of faith. So we're going to get out the bat and knock it out of the park. Absolutely. So the B stands for believe. Just like the intelligence and fearlessness of your body knows how to hold on to what nourishes it and release what doesn't, there is an intelligence and fearlessness in you that knows the highest vision and purpose of your life. As the circumstances of your life shift and change, there is something in you that knows what you need to let go of. Believe that the infinite power and courage of the universe is flowing to you, that it is for you, and it is absolutely supporting and empowering you. The A stands for accept. It is time to accept the intelligence, fearlessness, power, and clarity that is yours. It is absolutely here inside of you. You have the imaginal discs inside of you that are the blueprints of your highest purpose. And you are loved and supported by the universe, by your higher power, however you define that. Today is the day to accept it by claiming it as your own. And the T stands for trust. It is safe to rely on the integrity, strength, and ability of spirit within you. Spirit's highest vision of you has been given to you, and you are now in charge of it. It is in your care. Life and spirit trusts you with your purpose. It's time to trust in yourself and in the universe, and it's time to let go. Let yourself hurtle across space toward the next stage of your evolution. And so every day this week, take some time to center yourself in love and contemplate the question, what must I release in order to manifest Spirit's highest vision for my life? Write down what comes to you. Listen. Say yes to your evolution. Let yourself be excited. Claim that fearlessness that is absolutely already present in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, and see if you can be grateful for where you're currently at, knowing that you're shedding your chrysalis, that you're pumping up your wings and getting ready to fly. How beautiful it is to be alive and to be together in community as we witness this expansion, as we remind each other of the truth of our brilliance, of our magnificence, as we awaken to this spiritual magnificence that is already here, that thinks you are the bee's knees. Let's allow, believe, trust together as we naturally, organically, and fearlessly evolve into that next stage of our conscious evolution. And so it is.